Hello, crypto friends. The gains keep rolling in, checking in on Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and we're going to look at Strat as well. So Litecoin is in the middle of a blue sky breakout continuation and huge move with a lot of momentum behind it. Just exited a position a bit ago. And in the video yesterday, I was talking about how the traders have the advantage this week with the ability to hop back and forth with blue sky breakouts. Litecoin bulls are saying, shut up. We're going to prove you wrong. And that's true. If you are holding Litecoin through all of this, you've got some guts and you are seeing some big time gains. So the longs in Litecoin are coming out ahead. I'm definitely leaving money on the table as I am flipping it. But the kind of volatility that we are seeing in Litecoin, because it is such high risk, high reward, it's not the kind of thing that I can comfortably hold. Whereas just last night, if I had held, let's look at an example, because I do go all in with my positions, if I had held from $80 here and let it consolidate all the way back down to $76.50, that's a very significant dent in my account if I were to sit through that consolidation. So some people that have gone long can definitely sit through that consolidation and ride that out, and more power to them. It's just not my style and not my ability, but still locking in those gains. The account still continuing to grow with these profits, and we just broke 86 as I'm talking here. So we do look like we're on a sure path here to 100, but we obviously have to be very cautious. The more we go up, the thinner we get, and the daily chart is going to see a volume climax today, in my opinion, and I can say that because we have 7 hours of trading left. We're certainly going to pass yesterday, and the odds that we see a volume day greater than today, tomorrow, is very unlikely unless we do see that straight shot to 100. It is possible, but I don't anticipate that to be happening. So where we stand, bulls in full control. We're looking for short-term consolidation in the near-term future. This is the 5-minute chart exploding to the upside. Again, RSI levels aren't really telling us much. We're just watching price action. The volume obviously is favoring the bulls at this point. And just zooming out from here, the daily time frame, we don't really have much support established on this move up. We can see on the daily time frame, even down in the 60s, there's not much support established. We've gone in 2 days, we've gone from essentially $66 to right now $86, a $20 move with very little support established on the daily time frame. So we will consolidate on this daily time frame in the near-term future. We have not seen 2 red days in a row on Litecoin in over 2 weeks at this point. And on the 4-hour time frame, you can see we haven't seen a red candlestick in quite some time, and just very cautious that consolidation is coming, and you should have your game plan established. If you're long Litecoin, you're certainly enjoying this and holding on regardless of the pullback. If you are looking to take some profit, you are probably going to be looking to do that in the near-term future. But again, right now we don't really have, this is an example where technical analysis is difficult in terms of telling us when we should be getting out because we don't have many clear signals. But you look at this 15-minute time frame and we can see an uptrend of support that we have been bouncing off of pretty consistently. So this is an uptrend support line that you can be looking at. But the 15-minute time frame has formed consistent higher lows this entire breakout. There was one little lower low here, but other than that, it's been higher lows pretty much the past 2 days. So that has kept the bulls very confident. Our most recent higher low is all the way down at 80.95. So that's a $5 pullback even to get to that support. We will likely consolidate in the near-term future on the 15-minute time frame and form a higher low in just a bit here, and that will be a new support that we can be going off of. But we're still at blue sky breakout levels and all-time highs. And again, my strategy with using my whole account is just to get in and capture a couple dollars of upside and then lock it in and get out. So looking at resistance from here, it's just all psychological levels, 87, 88, all the way up to 100 psychological. And congrats again to the bulls. Tons of upside bull breakout action. There was let's look at some signals on entering if you have been bouncing around in this as well. We were very tight on this consolidation that was occurring overnight and into this morning, and we had resistance. There goes Litecoin over 87. So we have resistance right now of 78.07, and that was our top, 77.99. So right over 78.07. Once that broke, you can see the bull volume spiked. We hit our new all-time high. Healthy consolidation, higher lows and higher highs. A little bull flag here on the 15-minute, and then an absolute monster breakout currently in the works. And watching for potential volume climaxes to give some signals. But as of right now, again, the bulls are just riding this move up with not a whole lot of selling action. I've also been using the order book. The order book in terms of the bid to ask has been giving some nice clues, and right now the bid at $87 is much more significant than the resistance through $87. So the bulls have momentum in their favor in that regard as well. Oftentimes we see that switch once the breakout gets going, but not the case right now. I'm looking at, a nice 2,000 support at 87, and we've only got, 1,000 until we get to 88. So let's see if the bulls can get there. Checking in on Bitcoin, we've been at all-time highs as well. So the cryptocurrency space as a whole is continuing its extremely strong move. This is the daily time frame. Last support on the daily was established at 4,500. We are surpassing the Goldman Sachs target. A lot of people thought that maybe the fact that Goldman Sachs put a target in the 4,800s would induce a lot of selling at that level, maybe believing them. But at this point, that's not the case. And checking in, 4-hour time frame, support established at 47.06. That's a support level to watch. Certainly high RSI, but again, Litecoin and Bitcoin, blue sky breakout RSI does not have much meaning. Hourly support, 47.90 is another level we can be watching for the higher lows to be maintained. So the bulls are in full control of Bitcoin as well. We're seeing normal healthy consolidation. If we were to break 47.90, that would be a signal that some more prolonged consolidation is coming. Shorter term time frame, we can see our significant pullback. This volume is a bit of a red flag to the bulls. Increasing bear volume on this pullback and now potentially a lower high. So this key support, 47.90, if we break that level, we then have a lower high and a lower low, and that will be a shift in the momentum to a degree. So the high we've seen so far, 48.74. Resistance after that is 4,900 and then 5,000 psychological. A lot of people are anticipating a pullback from 5,000, so I would anticipate some profit taking from that level, and we'll see if we can get to that level over this long Labor Day weekend. Something about Bitcoin, GBTC, if you are familiar with stock trading, GBTC is the only way that you can have access to Bitcoin on the stock exchange right now, and it's on the OTC. They're trying to get to the New York Stock Exchange. But what happened, some drama, so to speak, Andrew Left works with a company called Citron, and they do short attacks on companies that they feel are overvalued. They've done it to Tesla. They've done it to a bunch of names. And just because they have such a significant following, they put out their, they go short themselves, and then they put out their alert to their members or whoever, and then they put out their alert to the world. And he was on CNBC yesterday talking about shorting GBTC because it's overbought. He's not bearish Bitcoin. He's bearish this instrument. And this instrument had a huge premium where essentially the amount of Bitcoin that this trust is holding was overpriced. There was a 120% premium, meaning the amount of Bitcoin that we were holding compared to the price that we were paying here for this trust was twice as much. Bitcoin should have been worth, 8,000 something. So he was saying, and his logic was dead on, saying this instrument is extremely overvalued. There's a ton of hype built into it because everybody that wants a piece of Bitcoin action and can't get it because of the hurdles that they have to go to different exchanges, they're going into this. And he got, he released his short and huge pullback. He got a nice 20% pullback over that, maybe a 25% pullback at this point. So definitely seeing a pullback there, but we're starting to see, the stock world take notice. We've certainly been seeing it for a while in the semiconductor sector. Again, NVDA and those companies seeing huge moves over their weekly charts in 2017, thanks to the fact that they sell these mining equipment. So because I am involved in the stock market so much with daily coverage, I'm definitely watching all the impacts that it has on this space. I'm watching the dollar correlation with the cryptocurrency space. I'm watching the gold correlation with the cryptocurrency space. There's way more out there to be looking at than just cryptocurrency sector itself. And getting really excited that we are seeing more correlations and more recognition. And that's why I do believe that when we see the hurdle drop in terms of an ETF where we can have a legitimate trading vehicle for these cryptocurrencies where, again, the barrier to entry for people to play these cryptocurrency plays is significant. If you're a 65-year-old whoever and you have, $800,000 in your retirement account and you want a piece of this cryptocurrency action, you're going to be really overwhelmed if you're trying to look online and trying to, what exchange do I have to go to? What the heck's a wallet? All of that is very overwhelming to a vast majority of the financial world. And once you make it easy for them and you handhold them on how to get in on this action, they are going to get in on this action to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. So the first time we get an ETF announced, the first cryptocurrency that gets it, I'm going to go all in instantly no matter what and just ride that up for a few days. So went way off track there, sorry about that, but I could start incorporating a little bit more dollar, gold, stock, technical analysis in this cryptocurrency space. But for now, let's stick to these blue sky breakouts. So Bitcoin, watching key support, short term 47.90 and the all-time high as we tighten up. Let's see if Litecoin is topped out yet. So a little bearish reversal spinning top on the 5-minute for Litecoin at $88 psychological resistance, and we're going to pull back and form a new support level at this point. Ethereum, poor Ethereum has, I shouldn't say poor Ethereum. Look at this daily chart. It's a beautiful looking daily chart, very strong, very big moves. It's just not seeing the action with LTC and BTC in terms of blue sky breakout, and it's really the correlation with Bitcoin that is hindering it just a little bit. I do believe that Ethereum is going to see new all-time highs in the near-term future. I do believe that a lot of people are going to be looking, once we are done with these all-time highs on Bitcoin and Litecoin for a while, and we do consolidate for multiple days, if the bulls in Ethereum can break the correlation with Bitcoin, because obviously if Bitcoin is going to be consolidating, then we are going to be consolidating in Ethereum as well with that correlation. It's going to require high volume for Ethereum to break the correlation with Bitcoin. It can certainly happen. I do believe that's going to be the psychology that a lot of traders are looking for. They're going to say, okay, well, Litecoin and Bitcoin are done running. Let's now look at Ethereum, because right now where we stand, we're $25 from an all-time high, and that is roughly, what is that? Less than 10%. We're talking about, 7%. So 7% for an all-time high on Ethereum. But we're pretty extended. The RSI, I've been disregarding it because the correlation to blue sky Bitcoin has been running it here. But the 4-hour time frame is seeing some resistance in the $95, $96 range. We've topped out, or I should say $395, $396, $396.88, $395, $395, $396, $395. So 5 4-hour candlesticks in a row, all seeing that resistance. And it's going to require a pretty big surge of money to get through 400 psychological resistance. At this point, I believe there was about 4 million coins on that ask on GDAX alone, so it will take a volume surge. Otherwise, we will consolidate with Bitcoin. Look at this tightening pattern on the hourly. We've got our high of this move, our low of consolidation at 38.90, make that 386.98, our lower high at 396, our higher low at 390.40, and we're in the middle of that range, a little bit closer to a bull break than a bear break. But you can just tell there's a lot of bots and logarithms trading on Ethereum right now, where we're just ping-ponging back and forth. Let's see if we can see that on the 15-minute chart. Not so much, but just a lot. It's very thin. And, we move $2 up and we hit a wall of resistance, and then we drop back $2 and hit a wall of support. And it's just ping-ponging back and forth with a strong correlation to Bitcoin and just waiting for it to spread its wings and do its own thing. Because I do believe if the money does come in, it should be an easy all-time high. We'll have a target of 450 once we break 420. And there's not much resistance at all on Ethereum after 400. You look at 400, and the only prices we've seen above that was that one day. So there's very little resistance after 400 to 420. And the bulls should very quickly get to 420 after 400. Pretty much breaking 400 is going to be the signal, okay, we're going to an all-time high test. So I'm going to be watching the correlation very close to Ethereum and Bitcoin, which is still very strong at this point, and I'm going to be watching that all weekend. Strat USD, a couple things on this daily time frame for Strat. Watching for a potential, again, when I point out these patterns, it's just what first catches my eye, and I'm not anticipating a bear break here, but I'm going to be prepared for it if we do get it. So our neckline of support here is down at this low of 471. If we break 471, we will go from a higher low and a higher high to a lower high and a lower low. This is a bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern setup, but we haven't even started pulling back down to complete this right shoulder. So again, it's something I make note of, but it's not something I establish any of my trade game plan around, except for noting that this support is key, and a break of that support puts the bears in control. So resistance right now, we're topping out many days in a row, up at 781, 790, just under $8. And then our recent high is going to be up at 949, and have to break 949 to be looking for continuation. We do have higher lows on this bounce on the daily time frame. We just have to keep those higher lows and break that resistance of 947 to see continuation. So it is still a strong chart overall, unless we break that low. If you wanted to have a support level to be going off of, it would be this 614, or you could be using 701. And that's just support levels where we consolidated, and the bulls said, okay, we are done consolidating. It's time for the bulls to show back up. So those are the 3 supports I would be watching on the 4-hour time frame. And we will see if this pattern does end up playing out if we pull back. Otherwise, the bulls want to get over $8 to be looking up at this next resistance. So that's what we've got heading into the long weekend. Congrats again to the bulls. Gains really flowing freely at this point. Always cautious, always protective, because we are so extended to the upside. But Lots of opportunity for these bulls. So let me know in the comments if you would like me. I do gold videos, and James with the Chart Guys does nightly gold videos as well. I'm about to do a gold and dollar video right now. We do them separately, but I can start incorporating more stock market correlations or charts to be looking at, because when you learn technical analysis, that's the greatest thing, is that it is applied everywhere, and we can just be bouncing around and trading stocks or trading cryptos or trading bonds or trading anything that you can chart. And the fact that we are going to start seeing some global economic correlations going on with the cryptocurrency space, now that the bulls have proven in 2017 in terms of market cap that we're not going anywhere, then that's definitely something that we need to make note of. And it's going to take a lot more brain power to have a hold of everything that's going on in terms of gold and the dollar and the market as a whole. Again, the stock market's at all-time highs. We're testing all-time highs right now. And if cryptocurrencies are going to be a safe haven, nobody is scared in the stock market right now. Every bull is happy, and everybody's making a lot of money in the stock market. If we see a significant turnaround in the stock market, which we will at some point in the next, however many years, people have been calling tops for the last 5 years. I'm going to say sometime in the next 5 years, we're going to see a top and more significant consolidation. But that is the event that I'm looking for and excited for. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to take some hits in their retirement account, but certainly the gains in the last year will soften that blow. But I do believe we will see an influx of incoming funds into the cryptocurrency space when the stock market is no longer just money growing on trees. And in 2017, the stock market has been money growing on trees. And likewise, the dollar has been extremely weak in 2017, and it did just break a key support. So that's a lot. I appreciate you watching. I hope you're wonderful. See you soon.